From The Australian, I'm Claire Harvey. At least 12 people, including a rabbi, are dead and many others are injured after gunmen opened fire at Sydney's Bondi Beach on Sunday, targeting a Jewish community event. One of the killers has been named as Naveed Akram, a 24-year-old who was living in Bonnyrigg in Sydney's west. One person was taken from Akram's home in handcuffs and another group left the house with their hands up. New South Wales Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon declared the massacre a terrorist event, and police on Sunday night were raiding homes in Sydney's west. Late on Sunday night, bomb disposal officers were working on a vehicle parked near the beach that is believed to contain several improvised explosive devices. Several police officers were also injured during the response. Police said they expected the number of casualties to rise. Stunning video showed a civilian, 43-year-old greengrocer Ahmed Al-Ahmed, tackling one shooter to the ground and wrenching away his firearm as another shooter fired on police and civilians.
Oh!
Mr Ahmed was last night recovering from injuries in hospital. ASIO Director General Mike Burgess said one of the shooters was on the intelligence agency's radar.
One of these individuals was known to us, but not in an immediate threat perspective, so obviously we need to look into what happened here.
Thousands of beachgoers and tourists fled from the sand and surrounds after at least 2 gunmen opened fire around 6:40pm on Sunday. New South Wales Police said one of the alleged gunmen was in custody and another died at the scene. An elderly lady, Larissa Kleitman, told the Australian's Ellie Dudley at the scene her husband, Alex, 87, was shot dead next to her at the Hanukkah festival.
A very, very good celebration. For many, many years, never happened anything like this. And today, in the middle of the celebration, it was shot, and unfortunately my husband was killed.
This young woman was working at a bat mitzvah event at the pavilion.
We were in the middle of doing a kid's henna, and just many gunshots, kind of thought it was fireworks, but after a certain amount we were like, oh, okay, gunshots, get down, run. Yeah.
This surfer, Einar de la Cretelle, said he stayed out at sea for 2 hours with other surfers as the panic unfolded. They were picked up by a man in a boat who took them around the headland and into Sydney Harbour's Watson's Bay.
We just took the boat and get away, tried to escape.
Dozens of ambulances responded to the incident, taking the injured to hospitals around Sydney. Jewish leaders say the attack was anti-Semitic mass murder. The shooting happened on the first night of Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. A Hanukkah celebration was underway at the beach and dozens of children attending a bat mitzvah were inside the Bondi Pavilion. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described the shooting as a terrorist attack, while Israeli President Isaac Herzog said Israel repeatedly warned the Australian government about the need to uproot the criminal and widespread anti-Semitism in their country. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said the scene at Bondi was shocking and distressing.
This is a targeted attack on Jewish Australians on the first day of Hanukkah, which should be a day of joy, a celebration of faith, an act of evil anti-Semitism, terrorism that has struck the heart of our nation. An attack on Jewish Australians is an attack on every Australian, and every Australian tonight will be, like me, devastated on this attack on our way of life. There is no place for this hate, violence and terrorism in our nation. Let me be clear, we will eradicate it. We have seen Australians today run towards danger in order to help others. These Australians are heroes and their bravery has saved lives. As Prime Minister, I say on behalf of all Australians to the Jewish community, we stand with you. You should never have to endure the loss that you have suffered today. You should never know the fear that you know tonight. My fellow Australians, I say tonight that there are nights that tear at our nation's soul. In this moment of darkness, we must be each other's light. hold on to the true character of the country that we love. Australia is stronger than the cowards who attacked innocent people today. Australia is braver than those who seek to make us afraid. Australia will never submit to division, violence or hatred. We will see justice done and we will come through this together.
The Australian's political editor, Jeff Chambers, asked,
Left unchecked, anti-Semitism leads to terrorism and violence targeting the innocent. Your government has come under criticism in claiming that it has effectively responded to the rise of anti-Semitism in Australia since October 7, 2023. In September, your government recognised a Palestinian state. Your ministers have attacked the Israeli government. Senior ministers refused to visit the sites of the October 7 massacres, and you created a special Islamophobia envoy alongside an anti-Semitism envoy. Have you taken the threat of anti-Semitism seriously, and can you guarantee the safety of Jewish Australians?
We've taken it seriously, and we've continued to act. We've continued to work with Jewish community leaders. We've continued to take all the advice from the security agencies to put in place special measures, and we'll continue to do so.
Mike Burgess was asked about the days ahead.
Mr Burgess, you mentioned that the chance of another attack is probable, or 50%. I'm just wondering, how does that mean that there is still a 1 in 2 chance of a follow-up attack? And does ASIO or the other security agencies take more precautions now that you've seen such a devastating attack?
The national terrorism threat level of probable means there's a 50% chance, so 1 in 2. Of course, that doesn't mean to say there's a connection to an immediate attack following this one. That is subject to our ongoing investigation. We have no indications that that is the concern at this stage, but of course we will work 24/7 along with our police colleagues to make sure that is the case.
New South Wales Premier Chris Minns addressed the media.
This cowardly act of terrifying violence is shocking and painful to see, and represents some of our worst fears about terrorism in Sydney. What should have been a night of peace and joy celebrated in that community with families and supporters has been shattered by this horrifying, evil attack. I can assure the community it will be met with a massive, comprehensive police and public order response. Our heart bleeds for Australia's Jewish community tonight. I can only imagine the pain that they're feeling right now to see their loved ones killed as they celebrate this ancient holiday. Tonight saw extraordinary acts of personal courage and bravery from individuals in our community. And I think it's worth remembering that in all of this evil, in all of this sadness, there are still wonderful, brave Australians that are prepared to risk their lives to help a complete stranger. Mel?
New South Wales Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon said the attack had been declared a terrorist incident.
I have also authorised special powers under Section 5 and Section 6 to ensure that if there is a third offender, and we are currently investigating that at the moment, we will make sure that we prevent any further activity. No stone will be left unturned. This type of disgraceful activity, this wanton use of violence, the taking of innocent lives is unacceptable to New South Wales.
That story is unfolding fast and we'll have much more as the news breaks. You can follow it live at beaustralian.com.au.